Hello, happy first day of fall for all of you in the group, and hope you have had a great day. Thank you for being here, whether you're watching live or watching on the replay. I love the comments, love the likes, and let me know a question that you have as we go along, or even later. Please post it because I always go back and answer everything. So anyway, hi Leanne, how are you? And welcome officially to the group, to my Facebook group. Well, it is wardrobe series number 3. And tonight the topic is jackets. So for those of you that may not have seen the other two, I started out with cardigans, both long and short. And then we moved to tees, both solid tees and graphic tees, and tonight it's jackets. And so what I will do is I definitely will revisit these other categories kind of as we go along. So if I have a good find, I will share it with you. I think it was in the blog. So here's kind of the pattern of how things go. So I do the Facebook Live here in the group first. Then I put it on IGTV. So for those of you that are watching on Instagram, I appreciate that as well. And then the video gets uploaded to YouTube and it gets put on the blog post for those who are not on either or any of the social media. So the blog post always has a little bit more detail because obviously you can do some things in video and some things in writing. So there's always way more visuals and writing. And then I also include all the sources in the blog post. So I call them widgets, and you have seen me post those both here and then if you're a subscriber. And what a widget is just all the sources in a graphic really that you can just scroll through, and you can then click on all the images and get the information, and then you can order from there. So all the sources are always on the blog post because I'm going to show you things, and on each wardrobe series I'm going to show you things, but I may not have all of the things. Sometimes it's current, and sometimes you can go to the store and purchase it. Like with the tees, I definitely showed all current things last week. And tonight it's going to be more of things that I have in my closet, and we're going to talk about categories of jackets. But then when I post all of the sources, I will find like items or similar things that will fit in these categories. So after jackets, we have things coming up, like I will do bottoms. We've done denim a little bit before, so I may wait until do that until there's just some more out there that I can show, because I did a Facebook Live on denim recently, and you can always find all of them in the guides in the Facebook group. And then, of course, if you are a blog subscriber, you can do the little search box and find that. And then on IGTV, they're just all there, much easier, almost easier to find there. Also coming up will be tops and also shoes and boots. So I'm just taking one category each week and then kind of following that pattern. On Tuesdays, I do something in the Facebook group called Team Tuesday, where I get you to kind of weigh in on things and choose. And so today, or actually this week, yesterday, it was, if you like, more structure or more comfort. Now, that is really important when you are choosing jackets, because some of you are definitely going to lead one way or the other, and some of you, like me, can go back and forth. So all of this is setting the tone for a free 3-day workshop I am doing in October. And I'm so excited about this because it's been in the works for a while. It's been formulating in my head for a few years, actually. So it is going to be called Learn Your Style from the Inside Out. I'm going to touch on some of the concepts tonight with jackets because it's so key. But here's the thing. When we talk about style, we're all so programmed and focused on the outside, the actual clothes themselves. So this workshop that I'm doing is going to delve a little deeper, and you are going to learn how, a lot of you know them, but you've probably never identified them and written them down. We're going to talk about personality traits and how that works with your outside style. It all combines together so that you choose things that you're not swayed or talked into something that doesn't work for you, and that you have a closet full of things that you love and you wear. No more of this 20% of the closet thing. I want you to wear and love 100% of what's in your closet, because there's a lot of things hanging in closets that don't work, and they may fit you fine. They may be a great color, but for whatever reason, you're not wearing them. And so the workshop is going to delve into some of that. And again, it's free. So you are going to be able to, I'm going to be talking about it a lot these next 2.5, 3 weeks, and you are going to have a chance to register, which will give you a free workbook to download and print. There's also going to be prizes for anyone who registers, a lot of giveaways. Hi, Linda. Hi, Kathy. Thank you so much for being here and watching. So anyway, it is going to be, like I said, it's been in the works for a while. I have wanted to do this for so long, and it's really now all come together. Not to say that I haven't had help. Hi, Jen. I have had a lot of help, and we'll talk more about that. But let's get to jackets. All right, so I'm wearing what I call and refer to as a novelty jacket. Now, you might be like, what in the world is that? Just like you might have seen in print that I refer to novelty tops. Well, a novelty top to me is anything that has a little bit more detail. It could have ruching. It could have, a different neckline. It could have a ruffle. It could be floral. That's a novelty top. Anything that is not a basic layering tank or tee, I refer to it as a novelty top. Well, with a jacket, I kind of just deemed this a novelty jacket. I don't really think that it has its own category, but it's not really a denim jacket. It's not really a blazer. So it's just in between, but it has, some bells and whistles. So it has these buttons. It is from Cabby, and Cabby does really great with their jackets, I always say. And when I did the Facebook Live on Third Pieces, which kind of combined jackets and sweaters, this was before I had the whole brainstorm to do the wardrobe series, I really emphasized the beauty of a third piece. And I have often referred to them as a woman's best friend, because they cover so many flaws that women complain about. Upper arms, middle, and in fact, I have to say that it was probably about 15 or 20 years ago when I started noticing that there was a little bit more weight around the middle than I wanted, and the jacket was my best friend. Thus the name, it's a woman's best friend, because here's what it does. First of all, it covers a lot of sins. But when you've got a fitted jacket in the back, what it does is it creates that nice illusion when it's got that good seaming, creates that nice illusion of the small of your back. So when you're looking at yourself from the side, and my arm's in the way, it really shows, because if you have a lot of bulk and bagginess back there, and some jackets are meant to be like that, I get that. But when you have that nice structure and those seams, it just does so much. It's so flattering. So it was about when I started styling and realizing that I would point that out to women, because it was just such a revelation to them that a little jacket could make such a difference. It elevated the look and really, to me, brought an outfit to life. However, there are many categories of jackets, and we're not all going to be drawn to the same ones. And this is one of the things that I'll get at in the workshop, is that some of us, it's just all about the comfort and the feel. So even though this jacket has a lot of stretch in it, there will be some women who this just seems a little bit too confining. They just feel like, oh my gosh, I just can't even wear that. It's so uncomfortable. Give me a sweater any day. So, again, you have to embrace who you are, embrace your lifestyle and where you're at right now. And just because someone in some blog post or some influencer somewhere along the way says you have to have a blazer and you have to have a leather jacket. Maybe you don't. And maybe you need to take something and make it look a little bit dressier, or we have to tweak it a little bit. That being said, I hope that you will all register for this workshop because there's just going to be so much great information in it. Okay, anyway, blazers. So the first thing is, I'm a blazer girl. I love them, but at the same time, it maybe isn't that practical for my lifestyle. So, you know, this is that typical leopard print one, and this is a black blazer that at one point most of us had in our closets. And one thing that you can do to dress down, hi Tina, one thing that you can do to dress down a blazer is to put, you know, obviously the tee. I showed the graphic tee a lot last time of putting that under a blazer, but a denim shirt under a blazer, you could even do that with this black one. This is a super dressy blazer. This is like typical wear to work things, but rolling up the sleeves and putting a denim shirt with it, or a t-shirt like this. I could easily put, I showed last week, I think, my graphic tee underneath that, but don't forget about the denim shirt under a blazer. Okay. So, and it also helps, like some of you who have a lot of blazers in your closet, you know, you might need to pare a few of those down and just pick your favorites. I mean, this one I have had for years. I'm not really wearing it that much right now, but it is a classic piece. It was something it was a sales award. I earned it when I worked at Nordstrom, and so it's not going anywhere. I'm hanging on to it. It's got a lot of stretch, a lot of give to it, and yeah, it's a keeper. Next category is leather jackets. Now, leather jackets are something that can really elevate a look. They can add, you know, just that other little dimension. I think also when I see them with a dress, I really like that. Sometimes you can put them over your shoulders or whatever, but at the same time, a leather jacket may not be practical for you personally. I happen to love them. For a while, I kind of felt like I had a leather jacket collection. I still have a few. And again, maybe in my lifestyle right now, I'm not wearing them quite as much, especially in the last 18 months, I haven't been wearing them, but I still love them. I still love the look of a leather jacket. So, you know, there's so many different styles out there, but you know, one just real basic one. This is one that I've had for a long time. This is a shorter one. And when I worked, I wore them a lot because what happened is when I was working retail, I often tried to really change my style in that, you know, different days I tried to wear different things. And in some departments I had a dress code. And so if I could put a leather jacket with a dress or skirt, it just helped me give things just a little bit of an edge that I didn't feel frumpy. Because in some of the dress codes that I had, there were days that I really didn't like what I wore. And so there's something about that leather jacket that I really feel does that. Now, I have black one. I have this very same caramel color. I put that color underneath there just for the contrast, even though it completely matched this leather jacket. And by the same token, I put this blouse underneath this one for the nice contrast, even though typically a lot of people would put that with black. You can clean, like if you have, I have another one I'm thinking of that I must have put aside somewhere. I couldn't find it actually. It's a taupe color and it got ink on the sleeve. Now, if you have other kind of spots, I'm not sure if they can get ink out. Leather cleaning, it's not cheap, but again, it can really preserve these leather jackets because it's something that doesn't go out of style. They are workhorse pieces. That's why we're doing these categories. I refer to them, the jackets, as anchor pieces. And then, of course, you're going to have so much leeway and personal taste, and that whole comfort level and personality is all going to affect the type of jackets that you're drawn to. This is kind of fun. I bought this one at the rack. And it's kind of a cross between burgundy and a chocolate brown. It still has the tag on it because I was going to sell it. And I never did. I got a really good deal on it. And so it's, I might be willing to part with it. So if any of you are interested, it's a size large, but it fits more like a medium. So anyway, now the next category I'm going to talk about is the bomber jacket. Now you've seen leather bomber jackets, you've seen all sorts of fabrics in, you know, usually kind of a blend in a bomber jacket. But a bomber jacket is really, it's a nice style to put with, especially with a jogger pant, because you want something that's a little bit shorter with a jogger pant. Just, and if you're like, okay, I'm really not into the leather jacket, I'm a little tired of denim jackets, that's where the bomber jacket comes in. And so this one, I really loved the comfort and just kind of the versatility of this one. Now, here's another thing that we're seeing a lot, and we have seen a lot the last couple of years, is to put a hoodie underneath a jacket. Some of you are gonna like that look, some of you are not, but it is really a great way to dress down the blazer or the jacket again, and it adds a little bit of comfort. It is a great way to add a little bit of warmth if you have a lightweight jacket. And so this is just a real, it's pretty sheer. I'd probably layer a piece under this, maybe even, yeah, probably a long sleeve piece under this. And then you have just that little bit of texture, I think adds to it as well. So that is something, but you could put a real casual hoodie with it. You know, you see it a lot with denim jackets. And so try that. Have fun playing with that, because it's something we really have seen. Now, I'm going to link one of these with a hood, because they have, there's several styles out there that have removable hoods, and that's a really nice option too. So you get a little bit dressier jacket, and then you have the hooded piece that you can put on. And there's a houndstooth jacket right now at Evereve. I don't know if a lot of you have heard of Evereve, but I'm gonna link that one because it's one of my favorites, and I absolutely love the versatility of that piece. Denim jackets. I really don't have to talk about denim jackets. We know the beauty of them. They go great with just about everything. They are that perfect piece with a white t-shirt and jeans. They are perfect over, sometimes they are that easy piece to put over a dress. Again, you can have them put over your shoulders. It's just, everyone needs to have a denim jacket or two or three. I think it was Erin who put in the Team Tuesday, and he's just like, okay, I have a lot of jackets, or I did at one time, and I honestly, I really don't want to count how many I have, because it's just, yeah, it definitely can add up. So back to denim jackets. One thing that if you like more of the comfort, you want to look for some good stretch. So you definitely have to be reading those labels for the more spandex that you can get. Liverpool does a fabulous job. Now, if you're not familiar with Liverpool, it is a great brand. Nordstrom carries them, a few styles, not everything. You'll find Liverpool in a lot of smaller boutiques, but obviously they have their own website, and I definitely will be linking some Liverpool because it's just a favorite. I have a white denim jacket from Liverpool. You've seen me, if you follow me, you have seen me in this multiple times, and I love it. This one is actually a longer denim jacket, and so it just gave a different look. It's old, but it really isn't going anywhere. I'm definitely hanging on to that one. One thing I do, and I think I've mentioned this tip before, is sometimes when I'm really tired of something, I will put it aside, and I will kind of, even maybe for one season, I will put it away. That's what I did with this leopard print, this animal print. I had it in so many pictures, I was just kind of done with it. But I knew it was such a classic piece, and I loved it. So I just put it away for a couple of seasons, and then I brought it back out again and tried to make it work with different pieces underneath it. Okay, so if you have any questions, sometimes that jogs my memory for things that I'm forgetting to say, so don't hesitate to put anything in, any questions in the comments. Right. Next category, so we're kind of going down in, as far as dressiness, we're going down the spectrum, but again, knowing that you can always throw something dressier underneath. but this is probably my favorite category for most every personal style and for every personality type out there. And when someone says, oh my gosh, you know, I don't know, I just don't do a lot of jackets, I probably will suggest a stretchier denim jacket or a utility jacket. Sometimes they're referred to as field jackets, but it's this. You often see them in olive green, usually neutral colors. This one I've had for a year or so. This is Madewell. Don't think they make this exact one anymore, but I found a really similar one at Target in a couple of different colors. I actually have another one in just the camel. And so I wanted to show this because I thought we'll do a quick little thing on print mixing and putting different colors together. So don't forget about putting the warm colors with the camel, like gold or yellow, and don't be afraid to mix a stripe with camel. You can easily do that, especially if it's a subtle stripe, and this one happens to be yellow. It's kind of summery for now, but you could definitely wear it going into fall. And then animal print. I know that that might be something that you might not feel comfortable mixing with camo. So it is a little bit more of a, you know, it's a stronger pattern mix, and sometimes that's a little bit harder for people to do. Usually when we pattern mix, you want to stick with similar colors. Stripes and real small prints are easier to pattern mix, but you actually can. Another way you could do it is to put an animal print shoe with camo, and you totally can do that. And speaking of that, just reminded me of this back to this jacket and what I put under it. So I just have the monochromatic look going on top. This is a J. Crew t-shirt. It happened to blend. I know that doesn't happen very often. But when I have monochromatic then, and I don't have a print or something that adds a little interest, then another thing that you can do is add that with your belt. And with belts really being more prevalent now as we're tucking, there's so many great belts. I love animal print in dark green, but you could put anything with this. You could put gold, you could just really, again, the interest then is brought out with the belt. So just something a little different. Okay, the last category, and there's, I could go on and on about jackets, but the last category that has been really popular the last few years is the shacket, which is just the combination of a shirt and a jacket. So these are, again, super comfortable, super easy to wear with just about anything. Now, here's the thing. I have had some women say, oh, you know, I don't really know how to wear those. I kind of want one, but they almost felt too sloppy or too casual in that. And so it was actually a question in my membership that I have. And so on our next call, we are covering that. I'm going to try to take a shacket and not really dress it up, but put some different things under it. So, and I think sometimes a solid color one can be a little bit of a different look than a plaid one. I think the more details, that there's some with more details, and if you can get that, I think the plaid, sometimes, you know, people get the idea of, okay, you know, I don't want to look like a lumberjack. Now, that doesn't really bother me. I actually love that one, and I can't wait to wear it once the weather cools off a little bit more. But again, the shacket may not be for you. It may seem too sloppy, too unstructured. And again, that goes so back to those personality traits and how we feel about various styles and what we're drawn to. So as I always say, don't try a trend just to have the new trend. If it's something that you're drawn to, go for it. If not, and you don't think it's you, pass it on by. You don't have to try it. And if you are going to try a new trend, I usually say spend a minimal amount of money if you're not really sure about it, and that way it's something you can try out, and if it's not for you, you move on and you don't have a lot of money invested. Okay, So that kind of sums up the jackets and why I think they are such an important part of everyone's wardrobe. And I would kind of put the cardigan and the jacket as that third piece in, you know, its own realm, its own category in itself, because that always, when you have the third piece, it completes the outfit. It brings everything together. And again, it really, the third piece can hide a lot of flaws. Okay, I'm sure that I have forgot something. Usually when I do and I think about it later, that's what goes on the blog post. If you are not a blog subscriber, it's super easy to be one. Oh, thanks for watching, Tina. You just go to stylebyKaren.com and you can subscribe and you can see everything that we talked about and a little bit more. And I'm going to try to post this week on Friday versus Saturday. I won't leave without showing you my jewelry. I forgot to look up the names. I always forget the names of the jewelry, but I just have this gold piece and it's kind of that vintage gold. I realize with the coin, yeah, it's kind of matchy, not gonna lie. But then I have just a real subtle piece here that probably hardly shows, and then just a very simple drop earring that has a little bit of the pave and kind of brings out that. So my jewelry is from Stella & Dot, and that is, of course, on my website too. You can just go to the accessories. I would have loved to have taken the time to accessorize each outfit I showed because that is so fun for me, but this would have made the Facebook Live twice as long, and I'm always happy to help with that. So, all right, thank you so much for watching live or on the replay. This is fun for me to do. If you have any suggestions for me, or if you say, oh, you know, I wish you would show these in one of these wardrobe series and get a little bit more into this, I'm all ears, so just let me know. And until next week's live, have a good week. Enjoy the beautiful weather if you're living in the Pacific Northwest. We are having some good weather, at least coming up again. And no matter what part of the country you're in, it's just fall is such a fun time. It's actually probably, I don't know if it's my favorite season, but it's close. So enjoy and have a great night.